It's June the 30th. It's 2023. I am at Joel Pearl. And of course, we're getting in the weeds. Jeremy, I have decided this morning that I need Lil Uzi Vert to do a cover of our intro music. I feel like that theme slaps harder than Chop Suey, than Nakamura's theme, than anything on that Pink tape. I started listening a little bit to it. Listen, I'm just a white guy. I'm not a huge hip hop rap fan. I like it, but Chop Suey was not it. Jeremy Lambert, how are you doing? Let's talk about that and a million other things as we tee up our morning.
Tee up, because we're talking like British time.
Yes, sir. You got it.
Joel Pearl, at tea time, everybody agrees that you should send a super chat right now. I'm gonna plug super chats for you today.
Thank you.
Everybody agrees that you should send a super chat so I can buy last minute Taylor Swift tickets and go to the concert tonight or tomorrow and not watch WWE shows.
Hashtag send Jeremy to the Eras tour. That's too long. Hashtag Eras Jeremy.
Look at this. I got my Taylor Swift mug for today's episode as well. Send me to Taylor Swift, everybody. I'm in a house with sick children who I would like to abandon so I can go watch a Taylor Swift concert.
I get it. I really do. Yeah, send in your super chats. Let's send Jeremy to a Taylor Swift concert and not pay any of our contributors.
Yeah, this is the month. This is the time where I will take the money for myself for a good cause. You know, the contributors, they get everything else. This is for a good cause. I feel like I deserve this, right? I deserve this. Justified. I deserve this chance.
He did that the other night, and I immediately thought of you.
Did he do a Justified? You deserve this?
I think during the tornado tag, Tony sent out a Justified "This is awesome" chant.
Oh, he did a Justified "This is awesome" chant like 15 times during Dynamite. I'm not even joking.
I believe you, and I
saw that it popped up so often. Let's go back and see all of the Justified "This is awesome" chants from AEW Dynamite. Justified "This is awesome" chants tonight for Sting and Darby Allin versus I Am Jericho and Sammy Guevara in the main event of Wednesday Night Dynamite. Justified "This is awesome" chants for Young Bucks and Hangman Page versus Dark Order on Wednesday Night Dynamite. Justified "This is awesome" chants for the opening match tonight, Jon Moxley versus Tomohiro Ishii on Wednesday Night Dynamite. 3 Justified "This is awesome" chants. There you go, everybody.
I mean, I would say one of those was justified.
Which one?
Ishii and Moxley had a banger of a
match. Wow. The Sting propaganda that you are spitting out here, saying that Sting did not get a Justified "This is awesome" chant.
Sting got a Justified Yelp out of me when I watched him almost impale himself on that table.
Oh, that was... I was very scared for that man, and the tables were too far away, and he hit legs instead of body, and that was
I immediately, when I watched him climb that ladder and do the whole like, no, I'm doing it, I was like, you're not going to make it. And that's not a knock at Sting. I don't think anyone would have made that outside of maybe Darby or someone who just has like those hops that we talk about. Sting wasn't going to make it. I'm sorry. 25-year-old Sting probably would not have made it. It was just
no. 25-year-old Sting would have easily made that.
It was far, man. It was a jump. You have
but look, he 63-year-old Sting still hit the first table. 25, you got to remember what 25-year-old Sting was jumping to the top of cages and blowing out his knees in the process. But 25-year-old
my points
swinging around the pole, 25-year-old Sting had some athleticism. Nah, he would have made it. I think like it was far because we're talking about a 63-year-old Sting made it look far. It was still far, but like I think a wrestler kind of in their prime athleticism who's kind of used to doing that a little bit more would have pulled it off cleaner. 63-year-old Sting, you got to take a little bit more precaution there.
I think if I were in the shoes of certain wrestlers, and I'm not speaking about age, I'm just speaking about like ability or adaptability on the fly. And I'm seeing it now, Andrew Zarian saying, I want Joel to do that spot. Not in a million years. I'll beat up Frank the Clown, but I ain't doing it by jumping off a ladder onto the floor through tables. Although if I get paid enough. Anyway, so my feeling was you at that point, if you're like, oh, I might not make this, you kind of have to springboard it. You have to go off the ladder, springboard off the rope, and hope that you don't overshoot that.
But Sting's not doing that.
He could just land on it and then do a splash.
Another step and try to springboard there. If that man would have slipped, that would have been far, far worse. Absolutely not. He was not going to springboard that.
Maybe I just watched too much lucha and I just trust luchadors.
You're talking about it. You're complaining about a man who's 63. Like, yeah, he couldn't jump that far to make that one. And now you want him to add an extra step on a top rope, which is difficult. I realize these wrestlers make it look very easy. These wrestlers in their athletic prime make it look very easy, but you want this 63-year-old man to add the extra step of stepping on that top rope to try to sprint. No, that would have ended far worse if he tried that. Why are you trying to kill Sting on this show?
I'm not trying to kill Sting on this show.
That's what it sounds like.
No, it's not. Stop it. I like Sting. I love Sting.
You could have fooled me.
That's right. I said it. I audibly yelped when he did it. I was like, oh no.
I did too.
Yeah. I mean, Tony Schiavone was probably in the back being like, oh no, it's Sting. Because that's just what he does. Every time he sees Sting, he has to say it's Sting. He needs
his line.
No. It's his line. They literally brought him out to commentary for the main event just so he could do the line, and I loved it. I had a good time with that. Yeah, we'll dig a little bit more into Dynamite, but 11 o'clock Eastern, we're gonna have a guest join us, and that's in about 50 minutes. If you're live with us here on youtube.com/FightfulOverBucks, KC Navarro, the truly I already messed it up. KC Navarro, the truly blessed Warrior Wrestling World Champion. I don't know how anyone does that in one straight shot. KC Navarro is going to join us at 11 a.m. Eastern. We're going to talk about Warrior. We're not going to talk about Frank the Clown, I'll tell you that much. I don't need to talk about that POS, but we're going
to bring Frank back on to do a proper intro for KC because you just botched that all the hell, Joel. That was bad.
I don't want to do it. Can we not talk to Frank again?
He was great. I liked Frank.
Why?
He sent me a very nice message. His message was like, thank you for having me on today, Jeremy. You were fantastic. I'll talk to you anytime. Please, I will never speak to Joel Pearl again. He was unprofessional and an asshole.
I mean, yeah.
I agree.
It was starkly different from the DM that I got from Frank the Clown, which just said, F you, Mark. And I was like, but my name is Joel. And that was pretty much the end of that. For some reason, it says you can no longer send direct messages to Frank. I don't know what that's about. That was just I guess that's a Twitter glitch that I've been hearing about. But yeah, that was something.
He rightfully blocked you.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
That sounds like a Frank the Clown problem. Maybe he's got to work out his anger. This is where I do like a segue to like a therapy service that sponsors us, but we don't have that. So sponsors, ads, let's get at it. Come on.
You can watch AEW Dynamite on Wednesday nights on TBS instead of going to therapy. Remember they tweeted that once?
No, when was that?
Oh man, hold on. I got to find this. It was something like that. I don't want to misconstrue the AEW Twitter here, but hold on.
This sounds bad in every
yeah. It is. It wasn't
this is coming from a guy who caught heat for saying if Dax Harwood goes to therapy, y'all have no excuse now. That got me heat once upon a time. I don't think I was wrong, by the way. But Ryan in the chat saying, "Oh man, they did."
Yeah. See, all right. I wasn't going crazy.
I didn't not believe you. I do believe that this happened.
So it was apparently January 10th, around about time here. January 10th, 2022, because I used the wife's account to tweet this, and she became very popular off of this. But it was WWE was doing a segment with Alexa Bliss, doing like therapy and stuff. And the wife, I fed her a fantastic tweet. It was AEW TV, I'm pretty sure, Zarian. I fed her a fantastic tweet of why is Alexa going to therapy when she could just watch AEW? And yeah, because AEW had tweeted. All right, let's find this. I think it was AEW on TV. Let's find this actual tweet here.
So I very much remember your tweet. That I remember you and I talking about it because it got some real good traction. You got them clicks, buddy.
It wasn't me. The wife got him. I fed that tweet to her because I think I was on like a sabbatical or something.
I think so. It was a hell of a sabbatical too. Let me tell you.
You gotta take Twitter sabbaticals every now and again. It's just good for the soul, honestly.
Yeah, something like that. Have you found the tweet? We got to find this tweet. This is a very important tweet. So important that it broke Jeremy's internet. He went so hard trying to. Oh, there it is. We're back.
Oh, my back?
You're back. You are back. Now you're gone.
All right. Searching for this.
Okay, now as long as I see your head move, I know you're here. I have to look for those little cues.
Sure.
While you're searching, because this is riveting audio for our audio listeners. Dynamite from Wednesday was okay. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I do love the MJF Adam Cole Bay segments. I thought they were funny. I still think that we're going towards they make it to the final and MJF knocks out Adam Cole, and that's how we get there. But of course, Keith Lee and Swerve have to tag team. What did I tell you, Jeremy? What did I tell you?
That's stupid. It's very dumb. Can we just get their one-on-one match, please? Like
they were supposed to do it at Double or Nothing. I don't know what changed.
Yeah. Can we just get their one-on-one match? I don't see the tweet. They may have deleted it because there was a lot of backlash from that.
I'm sure there was. I'm sure somebody wrote about it or had a photo of it. Just very weird stuff.
Yeah, it's now deleted. So here's what it was. It was therapy is really good for you. So is at AEW. That was the original tweet. So yeah.
Somebody thought that was a good idea, huh?
Yeah, somebody thought that was a good idea. And then it had a picture of like, two booths set up, and one booth is a guy therapy. I mean,
that was a meme at the time. That was the meme at the time. And they did what most wrestling fans do. And sorry, wrestling fans, y'all aren't good at this.
They're stupid.
I didn't say that.
Wrestling fans are dumb.
They're the ones that aren't dumb are the ones that give us their money, though. Just putting that out there.
See, that was the tweet.
Yeah, that's the one. That was
yeah,
that was a thing for a while. That was just it wasn't good. That person probably did not get fired, by the way. They're probably still working with the company.
All right. What are we talking? Dynamite on Wednesday?
Yeah, we don't have to get too deep into that, Weed, but what do you think overall? Yeah, it was that good, huh? Yeah. I also like
good. I'm struggling to
keep losing.
I'm struggling to kind of remember. It's been a long.
You're killing me. It's happening again.
I don't know what you want me to do. This works. Like, just everybody is.
Oh, it's so good that he's refreshing the page. This is what we get. This is real in the weeds stuff right here. This is 2.0. This is the good stuff. Someone needs to send Jeremy money for better internet and Taylor Swift tickets. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have Jeremy Lambert get Taylor Swift tickets, better internet, and he got the computer, so that works. His webcam is immaculate. The vibes are great, but not this morning. So listen, let me talk to y'all about Dynamite. How about we do that? Dynamite didn't feel like there he goes. It didn't feel like a nothing burger of an episode, but it certainly didn't really give me a feeling of like this is the best thing ever. Jeremy is back. Hi, Jeremy.
Hi.
We found you.
Sure.
You were deep in the weeds.
Yeah.
We need people to send money so that you can go to the Taylor Swift concert and feel better about everything.
I'm sure the internet's just going to crap out again. So here we are.
Such is life. Let's talk about Dynamite. There wasn't much to it. I think I mentioned it. It wasn't a nothing burger, but really the big moments were BCC and the Elites. Those were the two sides of importance. We've announced Blood and Guts. It's happening. TD Garden. You and I talked about it for a while. Now it's official. There you go. And then they did Moxley and Ishii to open the show. What do you want to touch on first?
It's a fine show. We got Blood and Guts. Eddie Kingston's not going to be there. Bryan Danielson's not going to be there. Let's have fun.
We will. Ryan Lambert can't stay for the stream, but says y'all have a snazzy day. We're going to get snazzy as hell. Okay. Jeremy's going to get a tie and a vest, and he's going to get all snazhed up and he's going to go to the Eras tour tonight. That's what we're going to do. Trios match. Wasn't much. Honestly, like I'm just looking, it was just match, match, match. But I did, like I said, I liked what they were doing with Adam Cole and MJF. I like the setup there. There was some good stuff. And I guess we gotta talk about the elephant in the room, Jungle Boy. What do you think of that promo?
I thought it was okay. I said it yesterday on Spotlight. I thought he hit a double. Nothing wrong with that. Nice double. Get you on base, up your batting percentage, everything. He didn't feel super confident like coming out. As it went on, he felt a little bit better. I don't know if he did a heel thing of addressing the Hamilton crowd as Toronto, or he just completely forgot where he was. Could be either or. Yes, either way, it worked for him. Yeah, the material was largely fine, largely what you would expect out of this kind of first heel promo, and I I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was as bad as everybody. I saw a lot of people who thought like this was the worst thing ever. I didn't think it was the worst thing ever. I also didn't think like he knocked it out of the park like you would kind of hope for in his first in his first big heel promo. Thought he hit a double.
Yeah, I can get behind that. I went back, watched it, and I was just kind of like, listen, Jack Perry was never Superman when it came to promos. He's even talked about it, like puking in garbage cans because he gets so nervous going out in front of a crowd. He and Macklin are besties at that. So the promo itself kind of came off as he's learning, and he's gonna learn on the fly because that's what happens in wrestling is you learn on the fly, and he's gonna get better and better. I'm really excited to see his development as a heel. He very clearly wants to do this and wants to make an impact, no pun intended, and do something with this character that's different. So I want to see where it goes. My big question is who was driving the car, Jeremy? Who was driving the escape vehicle?
Anna, obviously.
You think it was? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Anna, but I'm wondering, like, does he have a heater? Does he have someone bigger than him who's gonna, be his new Luchasaurus? Is it Luchasaurus himself?
Say, was it Luchasaurus? Yeah.
I'm interested in that. I because clearly someone drove.
Are we going to get an answer on that, or is it just, hey, the car is ready for him and they just dove in, he just drove away?
It's entirely possible that it's just they had his car ready and he drove away. But at the same time, he's not. When you think of Jungle Boy, he is not that star who gets driven to the arena. You know what I mean?
He is now.
Well, I guess so. According to him, he is. I want to know if there is if they're going to leave the question of who was driving the car. If they don't, then yeah, we're just kind of overthinking, and someone just drove the car. So Andrew Zarian in the chat saying it was Jason Priestley. That's right. If he starts coming out to like a modernized version of 90210's theme, I'm all about it. Let's go for it. Hollywood Jack Perry, 90210. Let's do that. But yeah, that would be fun. It could easily just be Anna Jay. And I feel like Anna Jay has to be a part of this whole presentation moving forward. I mean, it would make the most sense, and it would be so obnoxiously great. I don't know how you feel about that.
It would. I mean, I guess since Ty's off TV now, because she's pregnant, like you don't have the Sammy and Ty obnoxious couple making out every 2 seconds. So I guess they just replace them. I don't know. I don't really want them paired up on television. I don't think it works that well. I know Jungle Boy hit the line and people took that how they took that and everything, but I don't really want that pairing on television. I guess if it gets Anna Jay doing something substantial, because she's allegedly part of the Jericho Appreciation Society, but like doesn't really hang around with them or do anything with them anymore. I guess if it gets her like doing a little bit more, then that's cool. But otherwise, I'm not a fan of that on-screen pairing. I don't know how it would work. And you really never know with on-screen couples, right? Because like Becky and Seth seem like the coolest couple in the world, and then you put them on screen together and it looked like they've never met each other.
Giant
so you just
dorks.
Yeah, you just never know how that stuff is going to work. And I don't know if Anna and Jungle Boy work. I guess it's easier if you're just the obnoxious heel and you just got to make out and flaunt your love in front of everybody than, trying to come off as like, cool, we're happy and we're in love. So many people just hate love. Like wrestling fans hate love because, they're all losers in their mom's basement who have never touched a woman, according to everybody out there. I'm just kidding.
Wow, shots
everyone.
fired.
Yeah, I know.
Shots fired. Ryan Sullivan sent a super chat, by the way, saying, Jeremy sounds so sad. Don't let Joel do this to you. I didn't do this. I didn't do this.
Sad because I'm not going to Taylor Swift tonight. It's very sad times, all right? You know, let me be down, all right? Let me be in my Evermore era where I'm just a little sad about things, okay? All right,
It's
everybody?
very different from your Nevermore era, which was a lot more grungier and deeper.
Raven cut.
So it's funny. I discovered the band Nevermore because Raven would always wear those shirts. And I was like, who is Nevermore? Is that a shirt? And then I found out that it was Nevermore. They had a really cool red button down. Anyway, not important. I love Nevermore. Rest in peace. Oh my God. World Dane. He was fantastic. Great singer.
Never heard a single song by them.
You may have, you just may not have noticed. It's possible.
That's possible, I guess.
Back to Jungle Boy. What if, because you mentioned Anna Jay is still with the Jericho Appreciation Society, Sammy might be on the way out of the Jericho Appreciation Society. They might need to replace the couples. Maybe Anna and Jungle Boy join the JAS.
Do we need the JAS?
No, but they seem to think they do on AEW.
I don't even know if they think they actually need the JAS. It's been so disconnected for pretty much the entire year. And I don't have my voice is going. I swear if I'm getting sick now. I don't really have any thoughts on the JAS because they're not really tied together at all. It's just, all right, who's Jericho going to pull in and feel like he wants to attempt to elevate this week in the JAS, or this, I guess, few weeks, months. Oh, okay, this time it's Sammy. It's Sammy's turn. We tried to do something with Garcia, and then that went where it went. We've tried to do something with 2.0. That's gone somewhere. They tried stuff with Anna. It's Sammy's turn now because Sammy was off on his own. I just don't think that. I think that group is just better off just splitting because they don't feel like a group. I don't like when they do these groups and they don't feel like a group. If you're going to have these groups, they tried this with the Firm. And at least the Firm, they tried to explain oh, we're just MJF people on retainer, but then that all got messed up anyway. And then it just became nothing. And now Matt Hardy has a bunch of contracts and I've lost the plot completely on the Matt Hardy stuff. Yeah, I don't need Jericho Appreciation Society. If sure, put Jungle Boy and Anna Jay with them. Sure.
The only way that I'll be entertained by that is if Jungle Boy tries to take over the JAS and he tries to make it the Jungle Appreciation Society and Jericho just gets pissed off and it becomes a feud, which then of course it's heel versus heel. Or
so you're babying Jericho there?
Or you're babying Jericho, which honestly, fans probably would like it because AEW fans love to sing this song. They love the nostalgia of Jericho, and Jericho can lean into it. And it's been a while since Jericho has been a real white meat babyface. It could be fun. That being said, I don't know if it works. I don't know if it sounds like it would work. Jake Hager would have to leave because he's Jericho's bestie, unless he's suddenly Jungle Boy is the future of wrestling. And then everyone's like, who are you?
I like the Jungle Appreciation Society, and now I need skits of Jungle Boy taking Jericho out into the wilderness and the jungle and stuff, or the zoo. They go to the zoo together, and Jungle Boy's showing them all the different nature. This completely, by the way, has Jungle Boy's character, the character he presented on Wednesday would be a complete reverse of this hey, yeah, let's go to the zoo and appreciate the jungle type of thing. But I'm full on with the Jungle Appreciation Society. And what if Jungle Boy becomes a pyramid schemer, and the pyramid scheme is he gets people to just sign up for the summer zoo program, and then that's what he does. He gets all the people to come to the zoo so they preserve our jungles out there. And that's his new gimmick. He's the jungle pyramid schemer.
I don't know if jungle pyramid schemer sounds as good as jungle appreciation, but he
No,
does.
Jungle Appreciation Society is much better. I'm
Yes.
just saying, like, this is like the gimmick. He's a pyramid schemer who gets people to sign up for the zoo program to preserve the jungles.
The zoo program, and it's just video of them outside the zoos being like, preserve the zoo, preserve the zoo,
Yeah.
save the zoos, save the animals, and
Yeah.
Jerry just like in his big hut. It's like super hot in LA, and he's just like in this big like AC controlled hut, and he's just like, I should go out there and be with them. And then Anna's like, nah, no, you don't. And he's like, you're right, baby. And then they make out obnoxiously, and there's the Jungle Appreciation Society. Jake Hager trying to save the animals.
Great. Jake Hager in like
in an
like
L in a oh man, in a onesie.
What, like a rainforest get up
That's
here, with like the hats and I'm thinking like Ranger Joe from Full House. Yeah, like that's like the outfit I'm picturing Jake Hager in.
See,
right
I was
now.
thinking Jake Hager in like a tiger onesie.
Oh,
save the animals.
Okay. I can see that. He can wear the bear outfit that they had on Workaholics in one of the early episodes. Go with
I'm
that.
into that. See, look at that. We're already booking a better Jungle Boy heel turn than everyone else. We got this. This is us. Alan Arkin died, by the way. Just came out. I
don't know who that is.
He was in Little Miss Sunshine. He was on the Blacklist. He was the presidential candidate on The West Wing.
Never saw any of this stuff.
Tall. Well, he kind of, his voice was it stood out to me all the time. But Alan Arkin, he was 89 years old. Great career, really good stuff. He did the Blacklist. He was another politician on the Blacklist. So there you go. They killed him. They blew him up.
Never saw it.
No, man.
I've heard of Alan Arkin. I don't want to be dismissive of like, don't know who that is. I've heard of Alan Arkin. I'm sure I've seen stuff with Alan Arkin in it. All that stuff you've mentioned, never seen it.
All right, I get it. I just want to shout it out because I used to love Alan Arkin when I watched stuff with him in it, and also because we're a news show. We talk about Lil Uzi Vert here. I don't want to.
You're really pushing this Lil Uzi Vert thing. You open the show with this. I'm trying to get into I'm trying to con people like the con man. I'm trying to con people into paying me so I can go to the Taylor Swift. And you're over here of Lil Uzi Vert. What are you doing here?
He dropped an awful Chop Suey cover. It was bad. The Nakamura thing was okay. You and I kind of talked it through, and it's like he has a couple of bars and then he sings like a fan at the Nakamura show.
Yeah, he auto-tunes the Nakamura singing.
It's not great.
What's your favorite Lil Uzi Vert song besides Nakamura? None
of them. Is that a song by him?
Can you name a Lil Uzi Vert song?
Yeah, that cover of Chop Suey he just tried to do. Told you, it's not my bag, but I know when music sounds good. I know when artists knock it out of the park, like genre non-specific. I can tell you when it's good. This ain't good.
I don't feel like you can, Joel. I don't feel like you're a great judge of the hip hop genre to know if this Lil Uzi Vert cover is good.
It's garbage. He does.
I've not listened to the Chop Suey. Should I listen to the Chop Suey right now?
Not right now. It's not good. It's just
I'm gonna listen to it.
It's him singing over the track, but he's not singing. He's like saying the words in a tune.
I'm gonna send this to the wife. She loves Chop Suey and System of a Down. Loves them.
I'm not, and chat's being like, Joel's biased. I'm not biased. I'm not biased. I promise. I'm just telling you.
I'm gonna send this.
It's not good. That, and we got to talk about that Fall Out Boy new. We didn't start.
Haven't heard it. Don't want to hear it. I refuse to listen to it.
Awful. They did nothing good with that. It wasn't even in chronological order. At least Billy Joel had the story rights.
This is how like unplugged I actually am on this stuff. Is like I saw the discourse on the Fall Out Boy song. I didn't know they did it. I have not heard it. I've not seen anybody actually like link to it or anything. I just saw basically World Trade 2 planes. What else can I say? That's the only line that I saw. No idea what else is in the rest of the song. That was enough for me to be like, yeah, I'm probably not going to listen to this ever in my life. And then I moved on and I did something productive with my day.
Why didn't you talk about it on the internet like everyone else, Jeremy Lambert? That's what we're here
because
for.
people think their opinion matters on the internet, and like it doesn't. Like it truly doesn't. You don't have to tweet about everything. You really don't have to give your opinion on everything on the internet. This is why I don't tweet about a lot of stuff of like, oh, what's going on? What's trending? Let me tweet about what's trending. Let me add to the discourse. Everybody had a damn opinion on the Tiger Driver stuff, and they spent all day on this stuff. Is it safe? Is it not? Did it add to the match? Did it not? People just spent millions of tweets on this. I like Matt Coon. Matt Coon's a friend of the show. We've interviewed Matt Coon on Spotlight and everything. I like the work he does. Man, you don't got to tweet about all this stuff all the time. Same with like Kate does this as well. Even, like basically everybody does
Wow,
this. If I'm being
shots at
honest,
Robert O'Neill too.
Warner, yeah, O'Neill tweets a lot. All these people just tweet a lot, man. Just stop. Just I like all these people, by the way, and most of them do honestly pop me. So like I'm fine that they do it, but I think people, at least on Twitter, they think their opinion has this high value because like it generates responses from idiots. And so they just go on and they continue to respond to idiots. It's like, nah, man, you can just like move on. I had a really good discussion, at least I thought it was a good discussion with Jensen about Money in the Bank and like Logan Paul winning. And does Logan Paul carrying that briefcase like actually add viewers to WWE programming? Like, yeah, it gets attention, but does it add like viewers to the programming? And Jensen and I went back and forth and stuff. And like, I thought about tweeting about this before I brought it up on the show. And I thought about tweeting about this after I brought it up on the show. And you know what I said, Joel? I said, I don't care. And I don't welcome all these people in my mentions just being dumb and acting like my opinion on this matters that much and that their opinion on this matters all that much. I think people have a self inflated worth because of Twitter. None of our friends, by the way. I'm not taking shots at them. I do think some of them could stand to tweet a little less. We could all stand to tweet a little less, if I'm being honest. But I think people on Twitter just they have a self inflated sense of worth because like they tweet and like it gets some responses and like they just feel like they got to put their opinion out there on like every little thing. It's like, oh, this is being discussed. I need to put my opinion out there on it. This is actually why I like O'Neill on Twitter and just in general, is like he just does shit to pop himself. And I think that's truly the best use of Twitter is just do stuff to pop yourself. Like if you actually, because you don't have productive discussions on Twitter. And that's the thing, right? Is I feel like I'm being a little harsh. I'm like, oh, your opinion doesn't matter. No, everybody's got opinions. Like it does matter. And I'm not trying to dismiss anybody's opinions. I think when it comes to Twitter and wanting to tweet your opinion, it doesn't matter because I think a lot of these people are looking for productive discussions and that ain't the form to have it. It's just not because people are just going to find that tweet and it's like, oh, I disagree. I'm going to argue. And then you just start arguing with people and then you just start blocking people and you don't actually get anything done. Like there's no production that comes of it. You don't have a productive discussion with that person. You don't have a productive discourse with that person. You're not being productive when you're spending your time doing this. And I understand it might only take 2 or 3 minutes out of your time, but like, do something else with that 2 or 3 minutes out of your time instead of this nonsense that contributes nothing to anything. I don't find Twitter to be a very productive form for any of this. You want to talk about this stuff? On our show, we will talk about it, but I just have face-to-face conversations about this stuff. Don't just tweet and act like, oh, this Pop Boy song sucks. Then fine, have your opinion on it, cool. But then just like don't argue about like, oh, this line is bad, that line's bad. Here's why I don't like this line, and then people are be in your mentions arguing all over again. Just knock it off. My internet ad again.
Yeah, it just went out.
Fuck.
You were on one though. You were getting there. You were in it.
Whatever.
You were it. Okay, are we back? I think we're back. You were on it. You were in it. You had it. Lambots. Better than Lambs. It's a low bar, I know, but you were getting it over Lambs right now. Oh, please don't. I see you. I see what you're doing. Please don't pull out the glass. Oh no. Why do I bring him up? Why do I bring up Lambs?
I'm not doing Lambs, Joel. Joel, I'm not. I was checking my phone to see if I could get the damn internet to work properly, Joel. Okay? I'm not doing Lambs.
All right, he's not doing Lambs.
Shit.
I got him then. All right. Hey, I was just trying to fill the time while I was trying to see what you were doing. All right. So that was Dynamite talk. Listen, I think we can all agree that Jungle Boy is on the right path. And we just got to stick with it. And we'll see what Jungle Appreciation Society will bring us, because I think that'd be good stuff. Other than that, I mean, I don't know what else I can give you from Dynamite. I'm looking forward to Collision. There's a lot going on that particular show, but we're not going to spoil it here. But I can tell you this much. CM Punk will be there. That's all that matters. And Jeremy Lambert will be here. That's what we do. In about 20 minutes, we've got KC Navarro joining us, the truly blessed Warrior World Champion. I got it right that time, so clearly that matters. And he's going to join us at 11 a.m. Eastern. So about 20 minutes, he'll be with us. So yeah, I was telling him that's all I got from Dynamite. You want to dig into a little bit of Impact Wrestling while we're here?
Sure. All
right. Slammiversary is coming up in a couple of weeks. We talked about this match a few weeks ago. They're going to do Scott D'Amore and PCO versus Steve Macklin and Bully Ray. And then they added Darren McCarty, who you might remember from the last set of tapings in Windsor. Jeremy, Darren McCarty. It's an overbooked mess. I'm looking forward to this overbooked mess. What do you think of this tag match? Where are we going with Slammiversary? What are we doing?
I'm going to try to get Darren McCarty on this show. I have a couple of friends who know him. I want Darren McCarty on this show, and we will talk about Impact. We'll talk about his role. We'll talk about some wrestling stuff he's done. I'm also going to bring up the greatest rivalry in sports, in the greatest sport in history, the Colorado Avalanche, 2022 Stanley Cup champion Colorado Avalanche, and Detroit Red Wings rivalry. Because I have some thoughts that I feel Darren McCarty needs to hear my opinion on this, because it's so important. And me and Darren McCarty will settle this Avalanche Red Wings rivalry.
I mean, I spent a lot of time disparaging the good name of Darren McCarty. So as long as he doesn't know that, I think having him on the show would just be grand.
I'm going to get him to punch you in the face too.
Why? What did I do?
I'm angry, Joel. I'm just angry today.
It's par for the course some of these days. We're gonna get you a punching bag. Someone's asking about the Wiser plan. Also similar to the Shanna plan. Both bad. Both awful. Both didn't work. Toronto just brought their old coach back and said, let's try it again.
Yeah, the Shanna plan did definitely. You know what plan's working really well? The Sakic plan. That's working really well.
That's true. Yeah, it's gonna be there's gonna be plenty of that. I don't even know, but I'm hoping that Darren McCarty is able to join us on the show. That'd be fun. It'd be fun to talk to him about his Impact experience so far, and of course, get ready for Slammiversary. That's in a couple of weeks. Looking forward to that. I'm not going to Windsor. That's a 3-hour drive or an hour flight, and I don't think I'm going to do that. Ryan Sullivan says the super chat says I'm sending 2 chats today for Jeremy. Also, I honestly love Lambs. Finally, Jeremy needs to take this mood and shake it off. Shake it off. Oh boy.
Thank you, Ryan. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm very frustrated with this internet. That it keeps happening, and I'm trying different things, and it's not working, and I'm frustrated with it. And I apologize that I let it affect me so much, but I do, and I'm sorry, everyone. I'll try to be better.
We're going to get Google Fibe directly to your door. They are going to install the fiber optic network into your house. No other house, just yours, so that everything is tip-top. Your internet is still better than Kate's.
That's not a high bar.
I know, but we got to have some wins, don't we? Elsewhere on the Slammiversary card, Leo Rush showed up on Impact last night, and looks like him and Chris Sabin are going to go one-on-one for the X Division Championship. Looking forward to seeing Leo Rush in Impact. Looking forward to watching that match, because that's going to be banger. Sabin and Leo. What do you think?
I like Leo. He's gotten a bad rap because he retires every couple of years and everything. But like as an in-ring performer, you'll be hard pressed to find someone as good as Lio Rush. So I hope whatever he does at Impact and whatever he does just in general, he sticks with it. And, you know, he continues to put on good matches and he's happy doing whatever he's doing. You know, if that's Impact, then cool. If that's in wrestling independent shows, cool. Whatever is good with Lio. I just wish the best for him.
My hope is that Lio comes out with a character on this run, because being man of the hour is cool. Having great matches is great. I want to see some, because it's Impact too, which is like very character driven. I don't need something over the top, but I want some sort of statement from Lio as to why he's in Impact and why he wants that X Division championship. I want something out of him. And that's something that actually Cresta and I talked about last night on the Impact post show, was the idea that Leo's great, but what is Lio Rush right now? He just kind of showed up, had a big smile on his face, and wrestled a good match, and then turned heel by the end of the night when he took out Chris Sabin while Alex Shelley and Nick Aldis were fighting. There's opportunity there to tell a story, and I think I'd be okay with that.
Agreed.
I'm seeing Ryan saying, in all honesty, you do a 2+ hour show and your internet goes bad for like 2 minutes. It's fine as a viewer, except then I talk more.
Sure. It's just annoying when, like, you know, I'm just trying to talk and and like everything looks fine on my end. And that's what is the annoying part, is like on my end, everything's clear. And so I'm thinking things are fine. But then I have Joel, and it's not his fault, but he's like, oh, can't hear Jeremy. Something's going wrong. And so it just feels like we're talking over each other. Like, it's frustrating. I want this show to be good. I want this show to be quality. And when my internet screws it up, I feel bad and I feel like I let everyone down. And I don't think the show is good based on that. Like, I think that, you know, these are just mishaps that can maybe be avoided, but maybe they can't be avoided. And it's just frustrating for me. I take a lot of pride in doing this show. For some reason, this doesn't seem to happen on other shows. Like, it seems like it's just this show. Like, every interview we tape for Spotlight goes well. Spotlight always seems to go well. But for FMC, for the most part, seems to go well. For some reason, this show, it just dies. And it pisses me off.
So clearly I'm the problem.
I have been saying that for a long time, Joel.
I know. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. I got to make a Taylor Swift reference for that for you. No? No selling that?
I'm tired.
I got a little bit of a sleep in this morning, so I'm feeling okay. Elsewhere on the card, we've got a 4-way for the X Division, or not the X Division. We've got Ultimate X. That's what I want to do. 5-way. Ultimate X announced. Gresham, going to be an Ultimate X. Speedball Mike Bailey, Kushida, Kevin Knight, and Alan Angels. Looks like they're breaking Angels away from from Violent by Design. So I'm looking forward to that match. I don't know if you have anything to add about that, and then we can move on.
Ultimate X, it should be fun.
Works for me. I'm looking forward to seeing where Gresham goes. So we'll see from there. Where do you want to go next, Jeremy Lambert? I'm leaving this one on you. Where are we going?
I mean, we have a lot with Money in the Bank. That should be a show, right? What do we expect? The Tribal Chief returns to WWE SmackDown tonight. He's been gone a whole week, Joel, but he's back tonight on SmackDown. That should be, I guess he's going to address the Usos out there.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll be back. He'll pop a rating. We'll set up the Bloodline Civil War, and then we're going to be off to the races. Honestly, this is kind of it's a good drama-filled match, which is fine for Money in the Bank. I think a lot more people are looking forward to Money in the Bank matches themselves between the men and the women's side of things. But Roman coming back, that's always, it always gets people watching.
You think that people are looking more forward to the Money in the Bank matches than the Bloodline Civil War?
I think right now, yes. After tonight, after whatever segment they run, that could change. I think the last couple of weeks, especially with the way people have been kind of, and this is not just like hardcore fans. I'm talking like maybe the casual fans too, are maybe thinking a little bit more about like who can win Money in the Bank, who makes sense. You've got 7 guys on one side, you've got the 6 women on the other. There's a lot of speculation, but there's a lot of like everybody works here. Like there's an opportunity for just about everyone in both fields. Whereas the Roman stuff, it's like he's not fighting for the title. It is Bloodline story. That always helps, but I think people might be a little more interested in who climbs the ladder, who takes those briefcases.
I think after tonight, that's definitely going to change. I don't know how big the angle is going to be because they're doing the match. I think Roman is going to, he's going to draw fans in. Like Roman Reigns just does that his presence draws fans in. He's going to speak, and that's definitely going to draw people in. He's going to, make people pay attention to the story and his mannerisms. I think we're going to get Roman throwing up the one tonight and standing tall and putting a little doubt in the Usos going into the Civil War tomorrow. That's kind of what I'm thinking when Roman returns to SmackDown after a week off.
Just a single week though. No more weeks off for Roman Reigns.
Sometimes you just need to take a week off. I understand that. I'm with you, Roman. Sometimes you just need the week off.
That's right. You just got to practice what you preach. That's the next step into it.
Yeah.
But with Roman coming back tonight, you're right. I think there's going to be a big shift in interest if they knock it out of the park and they find a way to make this go home show a big deal for the Bloodline story, then absolutely people are going to be talking about that. Lots of conversation. Does this main event the show on Saturday?
Yes.
You're 100% yes, or is there any doubt for you?
No, 100%. Roman, dude, it's Roman. He's main event. What's main event? I don't think you're main eventing with a Money in the Bank match. Like Finn and Seth is about the only other option I see here.
And that's the reason why I go back and forth, is because this is the only title match, the only world title match on the line. And it's Finn, who is, he's from Ireland, but he's still UK adjacent, right?
If you ain't American, you're European, is what you're saying, Joel.
Pretty much in the case of WWE, especially Vince McMahon. And again, a lot of things just come out to how the show is paced, who starts where, who starts first. You could have the Bloodline Civil War open the show. It could be as easy as that. They probably will open with a ladder match. That's just what they typically do. But I'm just throwing it out there. It's possible.
I think men's ladder match opens because there's no women's title match on this show, right? We got Asuka and Charlotte tonight, and then Rhea doesn't have her match. Rhea doesn't have a match. So there's no women's title match on the show. So theoretically, you're not going to see a women's cash in on this show. So you can put the women's ladder match a little bit later on the show because there's no potential at a cash in there. So you open with the men's ladder match, and then you can tease a cash in, with the Seth and Balor match later on, which will probably be middle of the show towards the end, and then Bloodline closes.
So again, one of the reasons, and I've said this before on this show, why I would close with Seth and Balor beyond what I've already talked about was the option of having Damian Priest come out after the match and then having Drew McIntyre return in a big save. Send the crowd home happy as McIntyre and Seth happily hug in the ring. And then you can do the turn there. You can do the takeover, put the sticker on the bottom, the copyright logo, and then take it off the screen and then do the thing. Or, you can just tell that story on Monday Night Raw the next night or 2 nights later. Personally, I would kind of strike while the iron's hot. I would love them to go off the air with the crowd booing, being like, why, Drew, why? But they might cheer it because he might just be like, I want that title. And if they do, you run the risk of starting that heel turn for Drew McIntyre looking a little sharp. But I don't know. That's why I'm kind of on the fence about who main events and why I could see the Bloodline not going on last. It's not a title match. It does have a lot of drama, but like compared to everything else on this card, I don't think it's as hot as everything else. And I don't know why. Maybe it's just because the build has been it's been off for the last week, right? There was no Roman last week, which clearly didn't matter because people still tuned in. This week they got to kind of, maybe it's just me specific, they got to bring me back. Come on, like pull me back in. Give me some.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me, Joel Pearl, but it's been 1 week since Roman Reigns has been off the show. Like the big turn was just a couple weeks ago with the super kick on Reigns and everything. And that was a huge, huge, huge pop right there. A little bit down last week. No offense to Solo. We didn't really talk about this, but I kind of blame him for it being down last week. That the match against Sheamus was like fine. That barricade spot sucked. He was running half speed. He missed Sheamus completely. And then the Usos came out and laid him out. And that was that. They haven't elevated Solo up to the point that I think they think they've elevated him to. And some of that is on Solo, because when you do a half speed like run like that and then you miss, like you gotta like that's not main event stuff to me. If I'm being honest, like you've got to make sure that looks crisp and good and there's no flaw in it. And there was plenty of flaws in that. And it kind of just took me out of the Solo stuff. And then yeah, he got jumped up by the Usos, which that's fine. It's 2-on-1, whatever. Roman's gonna be back this week. Roman, that's the guy right there. He'll pull things back in. And by, when he's beating up the Usos tonight, which is what I suspect is going to happen, I think he's going to lay out the Usos. I think he's going to, beat him down, talk that trash, and then really solidify things. This is going to main event, man. I kind of get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying when it comes to it doesn't feel quite as hot. I get that, but this is main event. Have faith in the tribal chief, Joe Pearl.
Are you telling me to let it play out?
I'll let it play out. I'm just saying, like, I think Roman's gonna make sure he does what he needs to do tonight to like make this feel like it should be the main event. I don't hate Solo, by the way. I'm just saying that spot sucked.
Yeah, listen, and it could be an off night. It could be that he's just like trying to put it back together, trying to put it together. He's fresh on the main roster. It's been only about a year almost. We're under a year. Yeah. He came in. It was Clash of the Castle. That was September of 2022. So
and
yeah, you get better. You get better with these reps.
Let's be honest about Solo Sikoa too. He didn't spend too much time in NXT. His NXT presentation was fine, but he didn't spend a lot of time there. He's been sheltered with this bloodline stuff as well. Like not from like an in-ring perspective. Like I think his in-ring work for the most part is like good. And there's nothing too wrong with it or anything. But like he hadn't had to do a whole lot with it. He stands there. He's just kind of stoic. That's been his role, right? Roman carries the promo work. The Usos carry a lot of the promo and the acting. Paul Heyman just adds a lot by making faces and everything. Solo's just had to stand there and just be stoic Solo. And that's what be the enforcer type guy. That's been his role. So we haven't seen him branch out beyond that in this. And now he might have to do that a little bit. And when he's been, when he's had to like, do the thumb and everything, like it's been fine, but it's been just very small, minor kind of stuff. Now we're going to see him maybe have to do a little bit more heavy lifting because the Usos are against him now. And we'll see if he's able to do that and really establish himself. Just think for that spot, even if you miss Sheamus, like I understand you don't want to throw your ass into his face like that. We're not a strip club here. This is a wrestling event, damn it.
Gotta put some dollars down that first.
But like you can't be running just half speed on this thing. And the barricade spot sucks too, by the way. I hate that spot. It's so overused. It never looks good. It's just a dumb looking spot.
I'm laughing because Tim, when we did Tim and Joel call it in the ring, Tim would call out that spot every single time. I now call it the Tim Memorial barricade spot because it's happened. So, and he's not on Twitter anymore, but I know he I know that he scans Twitter once in a while. So every time it happens, I'm just like, that one was for you, Tim. And I just hope that he sees it.
It's not a good spot.
No, it's not.
I've never really liked it. When they first did it, it was fresh, like, oh, this is cool. But then they just used it every single big match. Like, it felt like every Brock match had that spot. I'm like, all right, cool. Here we go with this again. And now, like, especially if you're going to do it the way they did it last week, it doesn't look very good. Solo got to, like, look at the Toni Storm tapes here. Toni Storm looks like she's murdering these women when she does that corner spot. Solo, that's how Solo needs to go. Just run in there, throw the ass out, and then just wipe them out with it.
Flying hip attacks. Asuka also does them very well.
Asuka does do it very well.
She's another one who's really good at that. Someone asking in the chat, SmackDown tonight, is it live or tape? So it is airing live in the UK when they are live, which is they're live, I think, at 8 o'clock local. So they are 5 hours ahead of us. So I guess that would be what, 3 p.m. Eastern? So it will be live in the UK starting at 3 p.m. Eastern, but it will air in the US and in North America elsewhere at its regular time slot at 8 p.m. On Friday night if you're on the East Coast. So that's what's going on. We will have reports. We will have spoilers as we always do. You can check them if you want over at Fightful.com, but we're not, we'll have live show coverage as we always do of the event itself. Sean Ross Sapp is of course in the UK. He came on the spotlight yesterday, made his appearance for y'all. He doesn't want to hang out with us. He's too busy talking to wrestlers and big superstars. So I'll tell you this much. The interviews that are coming out, they're good stuff. So we'll check that out soon. FightfulSelect.com is going to have all the notes and all the good stuff from there. In about a minute's time, if you're watching us live, Warrior Wrestling World Champion, truly blessed Warrior Wrestling World Champion KC Navarro is going to join us. We're going to talk about Warrior. We'll go back to the Money in the Bank stuff after we wrap up with KC, but just want to give you that warning right now. Go tell your friends, tell everyone, tweet it out, get them all hyped up for that show, because Warrior's got a show tonight too, and it's going to be a real fun one. We'll talk about that with KC in a few minutes. Jeremy Lambert.
He just sent me an email. He's waiting on the Google Chrome to download, because StreamYard, you got to use like the Google Chrome and everything. So
StreamYard's like the only app that says use Chrome.
Yeah,
everyone else is like, don't use Chrome, and StreamYard just leans into it. So Casey will be with us shortly. Warrior Wrestling, by the way, they're in the chat, and shout out to them. They've been fantastic with not only promoting but being active here and just putting over everything, not just themselves but also us and the talent. Unfortunately, they also say things about Frank the Clown. He's a guy that exists. We spoke to him on Wednesday. That interview's over on youtube.com/FightfulOverbooked. It's been clipped out on its own glory. Hi Warrior Wrestling. Do you wear the mask, the logo mask when you tweet? I think that's a very important question that we need to ask here.
It's a sweet logo.
It is a sweet logo. It's got the W. It's the Spartan mask. Do you wear it when you tweet? Is it part of the attire? Do you show up to the shows wearing it? We are better than Sean. That's a low bar, though. Unfortunately, we're on a low bar kick this week. But we got a week without Sean is a good week, by the way. No eggs for us, Jeremy Lambert. No eggs for us.
Like no soup for you.
I should do that next. That's going to be the Monday deal. Anyway, I don't just very quick. Oh, well, I don't even have to do it anymore. We're good. Jeremy, I want to give you this intro. I think this is one that you deserve to have. No. Why not?
I'm not good at these intros, Joel.
Oh my goodness. Okay, fine. Let's see if I can do this without messing it up. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, the truly blessed Warrior World Champion is the one.
Joel. No. You messed it up, Joel.
There you go. Now you got to do it yourself. Do it yourself.
You messed it up. All right, here we go. Let's do this correctly. See, Casey knows. The truly blessed Warrior World Heavyweight Champion KC Navarro.
Oh man! Okay, I like that.
I got you.
I like that.
I got you.
World heavyweight, man. I wish I was a heavyweight. I'll take it though. I'll take it.
Casey,
the heavyweight, you just throw it in there. It sounds so much better. Even if it's not the heavyweight title, it sounds better if it's heavyweight.
Man, I'm carrying the company on my back. Come on now.
There you go. Look at that. Carrying the entire company. That's why you're a heavyweight. Exactly. Man, that's why you're a heavyweight, because you got
this. Look at this.
Yeah,
look at this. No one else has had something like this. Only me.
So okay, hold on. I don't know. I want to launch right into this. The pink is your aesthetic. Like, it's very clearly, it looks good. Why? Yeah. What got you to the pink aesthetic? And like that I get it pops, but like, is there more to it than that?
I mean, when I was a kid, when the NFL used to, all the players used to wear pink for breast cancer, and WWE did it for a little bit. I always followed that. I always did the same thing. I had family that had breast cancer as well, and pink just looked really good on me. So I always rocked pink. I was bullied really bad as a kid, and obviously being a wrestler, wanted to be one was one reason, but loving the color pink was another because I was a guy and that wasn't the thing. And well, I'm doing it, and I got a lot of kids now that are dyeing their hair pink to be like me, so I could care less.
You got Matt Cardona tonight. This match is tonight.
That is tonight.
Warrior Wrestling 30 tonight. Yeah. Matt Cardona. That guy kind of sucks, right? Like, he's a jerk. Like,
well, he used to be my hero. Honestly, I loved Matt Cardona. I loved Zack Ryder. I mean, anybody that's followed my social media knows that Matt Cardona was my hero. And about a month ago, or 2 months ago now, I wrestled him at Battlefield Pro Wrestling, and that was like one of the biggest matches of my career. And he cheated. And I know a lot of people are like, "Whoa, why are you acting surprised? You're the one cheating." But I mean, that was like a really important match for me. So I took it really serious compared to other matches. And for it to be done to me was kind of, whoa, it was a little shocking. And now all of a sudden he's coming to Warrior, and tonight he's fighting me for my title and trying to take mine. And I don't know. I look at it as cloud chasing, because after my promos and stuff, it seems like people got interested in him again a little bit. So I don't know. I think he's following me.
Are you okay, by the way? You almost got into a car accident, you said.
Oh, my God.
Promo.
Dude, what awful promo. Tell me you saw that. I mean, hey, nice pool and all. But damn. That was garbage. I mean, even Bully Ray attacked him for his promo that he got from Cardona. I mean, dude, Cardona's got to work on that. I mean, maybe I could teach him something on the microphone, but brother's got to work on that. He's got to work on that.
But what happened with the car? What happened? He almost got in an accident.
Well, here's the deal. I'm a good employee of Warrior Wrestling. I am the face. I gotta know everything that's going on. I'm a big social media guy. I mean, hell, I should be the internet champion if I'm talking honest. And I'm driving. I know it's bad, but I was going through Twitter as I was driving. Very bad. I know that's not good. That's not good. But I was going through it, and I saw I got tagged, and I click on Cardona's little video, and it was so bad. So bad. I was so distracted by how bad it was. I almost crashed into an 18-wheeler, man. You know how bad that is? An 18-wheeler? I'd be dead. I wouldn't even be here tonight. But I'm blessed. And I was able to pull over. I was able to sit down, recuperate, breathe, and then cut a really, really good promo back on him. Because I ain't playing that BS with him. He knows he can't touch me on the microphone. And after working him, he damn sure can't touch me in the ring either. So we'll see tonight. I mean, we are the main event tonight. Second time main eventing on a show with him. But this time, I'm the champ, not him.
We got a super chat from Dan S&D. Says, putting the title over KC looks great. You've been holding that title. You've been the champ for a year now. Over a year. Yeah, you won it June 18th last year in War of Attrition match. And you've not only defended it multiple times, you defended it in other companies as well.
Everywhere.
Like, what does it mean to you to be the face of the company, to hold that title, and then to take it to other companies? Be like, you know what? If you're going to book me, we're going to put this title on the line as well. I want to defend this title wherever I go.
Well, I can tell you now, I always wanted to be at Warrior Wrestling. During my career, we all knew it was one of the biggest indies out there. And for me being 21 at the time, I just knew that it was my shot. And when they gave me that opportunity and I came in, I looked at Principal Steve and I told him, you give me the opportunity, I'm not going to let you down. And constantly he kept giving me opponent after opponent after opponent. And we're not talking just Joe Schmo from up the block. No, we're talking guys that are elite level talents, guys that have been to the top, guys that have wrestled at WrestleMania. We're talking the best of the best. And if I wanted to prove that I'm the best of the best, I had to beat them, or I just had to go and compete with them. And I did it every single time, whether I had to cheat to do it, whether I had to do it on my own, whether I had somebody in my corner, I did it. And at some point, I won that War of Attrition match. I got the medallion. And then when I saw that the time was right, who am I going to cash in on? Am I going to cash in on Brian Pillman Jr.? Am I going to cash in on Brian Cage, Trey Miguel, whoever the hell was champion at the time? No, I'm going to wait till the big dogs got it. When Will Ospreay Lee saw it, boom! I came in and made an impact. And as soon as I took the title, I told them, now it's my era now. It's my time now. There's people that doubt me all the time. They say I'm overrated. They say I'm not good. They say I'm too small. And every time I prove everybody wrong, I prove that I belong with all the big guys now. and I took the title. I made my own version to just establish that this is my era. This is my time in Warrior. And then I took it to another country, took it to Australia. Then I took it to another one. I took it to Canada. And then I took it all across the country, left, right, up, down, defending it everywhere, literally making it a part of me. Look at this t-shirt that you can get on KCNavarroShop.com. The Truly Blessed Warrior World Champion. Now you can never mess it up. So go buy one, okay? Go buy it. Go buy it. And that's it, man. I just wanted to establish that it's my time. And I feel like with everything I've been doing, no one can deny, literally no one can deny that I have to be one of the greatest Warrior champions that Warriors ever produced, because I've done more than any of them as champion. You know, those guys are phenomenal talents. They're the best in the world. But when it comes to Warrior, I'm the only one to do what I have done. And I'm very proud of that.
When your time did come and you won that championship from Will Ospreay, were there any words shared between you two? Any kind of passing of the torch, anything like that?
I do know, if I'm fully remembering and the stuff that I can say, Ospreay did believe that it was my time. And he believed that everything that he's been watching, everything that he saw, he knew that I was hungry and he knew I was ready. And it was kind of like an honor for him to pass it on to me, which is an honor for me. And, you know, when it's my time to do the same thing, it will be my time. But I don't plan on doing that anytime soon, especially tonight. Hell no, especially tonight. God damn.
We got to ask about this because, you know, our pal, our boss, technically our boss, Sean Ross Sapp, wrote a big feature on you late last year, and it was very, very great feature put over by a lot of people. And then it led to what we thought was going to be even bigger things for Bless, the tryout with WWE. And then you were still a free agent. Can you tell us what happened there and what you were told?
I can't comment too much, but what I can say is that it was a phenomenal experience. It was an opportunity I waited for a very long time. And what I can say is that I do not think that will be the last time people will see me there.
That's great to hear. Well, you're 23. We hope you have a long, very long, healthy career. I mean, I might be a little biased. I think they'd be foolish not to bring you in and
sure
and show the world, show the WWE universe who is blessed.
Sure. And I'm ready to go anywhere, man. It's not just WWE. I mean, that is the number one goal. That is the dream. Anybody that knows me knows that. But I'm just right now, I'm just going wherever God takes me, man. Wherever I'm meant to bless next is where I'm going to go. And I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing until it's time for me to do it on the big time.
All right. I have to ask the question. Why Frank the Clown?
Why Frank the Clown? Well, I can tell you that I do love Frank. I do. Outside of all the wrestling stuff, Frank is a great guy. I know that sounds very shocking. But to me, he's a great guy. You know, he's got the cool hair too. So I gotta admire him for that. Okay. Frank's got a good mind, man. Frank knows what he's doing. He sure as hell knew what he was doing better than Papa Cage, tell you that. But Frank is great. And the stuff that Frank has helped me do is fantastic. Do I like the fact that Frank talks about him being the main event and him winning championships? No, because at the end of the day, I won this. I did this. I've been defending it across the country and outside the country, and Frank has not been there. And I'm not going to completely lie. I know everybody with the graphics and everybody talking about it. You know, Frank's in my corner tonight. I'm going to be straight with you. I don't care. This isn't about Frank tonight. This isn't about me and Frank tonight. Tonight is about me and Cardona. Tonight is about me versus my hero. Tonight is about me getting redemption on my hero and my hero coming to my house trying to take my title. So if I'm going to be completely honest, tonight, when it comes to me and Frank, I don't care to talk about it. I don't care because it is not about me and Frank tonight. And I know that might hurt Frank, but it's not about me and Frank tonight. Tonight is about me and Cardona.
I want to ask about Jordan Oliver, a man you have a long history with. I spoke to Jordan earlier this year, and he credited you for getting him his first booking. And I know, like in one of your first early matches, you teamed with Jordan. Yeah. What has that relationship been like from basically the start of y'all's careers to now? I think your last title defense was against Jordan.
It was, and an honor it was. I love Jordan Oliver. Jordan Oliver is like a brother to me. I am so proud of everything that he's doing right now and everything that he has done and everything that he's going to continue to do. I wrestled Jordan when we were 13, 14, 15 in a backyard, man. Like that was my guy. And I remember when I had an opportunity and somebody was like, we need more people that's your size. I was always a small guy. I was like, hey, I know this kid. And we brought him in, and the kid always wanted to go to Japan. Look at him. Went with GCW, went to Japan. I mean, the kid is doing everything he's wanted to do. I think right now he's arguably one of the best young talents in the world, best unsigned young talents in the world, and I wish him nothing but the best. We were always close. At first, everybody saw us together. We were tagging. We were riding together. And then it got to the point where, you know, we separated and we kind of went our own paths, but now we're adults and we're both doing our own thing. We're actually, this is probably been the most we've seen each other in 3-4 years this year alone. And it's been really great. So I'm very proud of him, and I hope he just continues to do everything that he's doing.
I've had a lot of people run up on you for that Warrior World Championship. I'm seeing Brian Pillman Jr., Trey Miguel, Buddy Matthews, Brian Cage, Jordan Oliver. We just talked about Matt Cardona, of course, is going to be tonight. Listen, let's be honest. Who else can or should step to KC next? Who do you want to face? Who's on your bucket list to defend that title against?
If I'm being honest, I would like Will Ospreay straight up one-on-one. No war of attrition. I would give Will Ospreay a rematch for this at any time, whenever he's ready. But if there's one that I really want, I want the Amazing Red. I want the Amazing Red one-on-one. I don't want him at House of Glory. I've done my stunt with him at House of Glory. I want him at Warrior. I want the Amazing Red. I know Red hasn't been at Warrior in a very long time, but if there's one guy I want one-on-one, it's the Amazing Red. So I'm calling him out. So I hope he hears it.
I'm going to make sure
wrestling's in the chat. We know the company is hearing it right now. So
yes, sir.
We gotta make this happen for everybody.
For sure. I know Red's been only doing this thing at House of Glory, but I think for Warrior, and I think if he knows it's against me one-on-one, I think Red would come to Chicago. And I'm putting it out there. I want Red. I want Amazing Red.
I think Chad wants to see it. I think people want to see that.
Yeah.
I'm all about
it. Sir. Yes, sir.
Ahead,
I'm ready.
You've been in the ring with a lot of hard hitters, a lot of really talented wrestlers as well. When was the moment that for you, and maybe it hasn't happened yet, maybe it'll happen later down the line, but you shared the ring with somebody and you were like, okay, I'm good at this. I got this. I know what I'm doing. It like it just all kind of clicked for you.
Probably Leo Rush. When I had the biggest match of my career when I was 16, it would probably be when I wrestled Leo. I knew that I could actually be good at this because at the time Leo just left the Top Prospects. It was right before he went to NXT, and I was only 16, 17 years old. And when I had that match with him and I walked out of that going, man, I just kept up with one of the best in the world. I'm only 16 on the year end. I think I can do big things. And then as time was going on, I was wrestling rising stars, like at the time Sonny Kiss, and then I was wrestling Sean Maluda, who's fresh out of the Cruiserweight Classic, who I actually just wrestled last week. And then people started throwing bigger matches at me, Mike Bennett, Davey Richards, Buddy Matthews, all these guys. That's when I started to know. I was like, I could keep up with anybody. And that's why when I had the medallion, I was cashing in on Ospreay. I wasn't scared to cash in on Ospreay. I was like, this is just another guy to me. And I was ready. And yeah, so I would say definitely Leo Rush when I worked in.
I want to take you back to Warrior Wrestling Sweet 16.
Sure.
Now, it feels like everybody, the new thing is like 6 degrees of Alex Shelley.
Sure.
And you had a match with Alex Shelley. Tell me about the experience wrestling with him. And also, again, everybody has an Alex Shelley story, so may as well get yours out right now.
Sure. I can tell you that when I worked Shelley, it was a great learning experience. It was also a very humbling one at the same time. At the time, I was going through a lot, and I'm not the guy to make excuses, but at the time, I was definitely going through a lot. And I remember when I went into that match, I just wasn't mentally there. And I felt like personally, it wasn't one of the best performances I put on in my career. And I felt bad because I'm going up against one of the best in the world. and I'm going in there putting my personal life into it, and I felt like I was very, very off that night. And that was a big career defining match for me. And I felt like I failed in a sense. But I can tell you that Alex Shelley did not stop reaching out to me after that. Like, he knew, and I explained to him, and he just always told me to just be proud of myself. Like, for what I was going through, I did great, and that I have a bright future, and I have a lot of things coming for me, and just to not quit. And I didn't. So I appreciate Alex Shelley for that. But yeah, I would just say it was very humbling and a very good learning experience for me.
You wrestled a lot on AEW Dark, and it was
Yep.
during the pandemic times and
Yes, sir.
everything. Did you, from a television perspective, what did you learn from that experience? And did you get any feedback from anybody back there?
Um, I got to learn from so many people. I mean, you got Jerry Lynn, you got Billy Gunn, you have the smartest people back there. You know what I mean? They have fantastic agents back there, especially at the time. Um, I got to learn how to listen to the referees, listen how to slow down, listen how to work cameras, work angles, and stuff like that. And then I got like great opportunities like working Ray Phoenix, man. And I remember after that match, speaking to Tony Khan, and Tony Khan like praising me for giving Phoenix a great match, because I think that following Wednesday he was wrestling Omega on a big Dynamite or something like that, and he was very proud of me and put me over to the moon after that. So yeah, I would just say, like, learn how to slow down, learn how to listen to the referees, getting used to times wrestling when there'd be moments like, oh, you're going out there, you got 8 minutes, and then suddenly you get cut to like 4. Being prepared for stuff like that. So that's probably what I learned out there.
Yeah, give me a little bit more about the working TV versus working independent style. Like you're talking about hitting your marks and all that. Do
Sure.
you prefer working that style? Is it something that you're getting more comfortable with, or do you still prefer working in an environment where it's non-televised and you're primarily working for fans?
I love working the television style, to be completely honest with you. Like, even if I have a referee and the referee is connected or doing the times, I always try to tell them to give me like a breakdown so I know what I'm doing, so I can know what to think of next. I think it's very helpful, and I don't know, it eases me a little bit. I actually feel more comfortable wrestling on TV a little bit more, which I know would probably shock a lot of people. But yeah, I just feel more comfortable with the television style overall.
Getting the blessed, being blessed,
Yes.
and having this, I don't know if it's a persona. It seems like it's you turned up, which a
Yes,
lot
sir.
of are, but cultivating this and bringing it to the independents, like how important was that, where in a lot of the world of the independents it's just, hey, I'm gonna go out here, just have this great match. Like, I feel like this makes you stand out a lot more compared to a lot of people on the independent scene who just kind of just to go out there to have a great match.
Sure. I've had a lot of great guidance, and one of the biggest things people told me was to always be myself. Stop trying to be like everybody else. Don't be like everybody else. Don't worry about just moves. Let people feel you and understand you and who you are. And me being blessed, that was my thing. I was like that when I was a kid. You can ask any of my friends, my family. Blessed was my word. It was my first tattoo. As a matter of fact, this bad boy right here was my first tattoo. And shout out to Mia Yim for that. Because I asked her, because I was scared to get a tattoo at the time, and she was like, "That can work in a character or a story if you get it." Boom, the blessed was born, and over time, I grew on that. First I was just blessed, then I became truly blessed, and then I dyed my hair, and then I grew my hair, and now I'm too blessed, and this and that. But the more I started being comfortable with just being me, I felt like the more comfortable I was to talk on a microphone, the more comfortable I was when I was in the ring. I was able to show more charisma and confidence in the ring. The more people connect with me, there's a lot of people in wrestling that, won't talk about them being blessed, or, oh, God did, stuff like that. And I'm not afraid to do that. And I felt like that brought another bunch of fans that weren't comfortable in talking about stuff like that, being more comfortable to come up to me and talk about stuff like that. I've had fans come up to me and give me like little Bibles and little Bible verses, and thank me and stuff like that. That I inspired them and stuff like that. And that's what was cool for me, and that's what I just want to continue to do. I'm not the biggest guy in the game, but I feel like even though I'm 5'6", 5'7", my charisma is 7'4". So, and my personality is 7'5". So that's what I try to lean on. And letting people feel me and understand me and know who I am. That's all that matters to me.
So in my research, not a lot of gimmick matches under the KC Navarro umbrella.
No.
A few ladder matches.
Yeah.
But other than that, what do you, other than straight up wrestling,
Sure.
what do you want to do? There's a lot of multi-mans, I get that, but like, what are the gimmick matches that KC Navarro's like, oh, I got to try this?
I would love to have a steel cage match, like really bad. Like I'm wrestling Cardona again in a month in a street fight. Very interesting. I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully I get through tonight first. Or he does. But yeah, I would love to do a steel cage. I feel like a steel cage would be sick. If I could have a steel cage with him instead and lock his ass up in there, that'd be great. But yeah, I would love a steel cage, a TLC I would do. I don't really get offered gimmick matches too often. I mean, if I did, I'd probably be like, oh, I want to do this, that, and the third. One thing I always loved as a kid was false count anywhere matches where I could fight in the crowd and all that. I would love doing that. But I don't run the show. I'm just the clown in the circus.
Oh, we need to do the falls count anywhere at the stadium series with Warrior and everything.
I know.
Just battle up and down all over the field and all in the stands and everything.
Who knows? Cardona, when he came to wrestle me the first time, he kept saying that he has creative control. Well, he's coming to my house, so actually I have creative control. So maybe I might change some stuff, but we'll see how I'm feeling. I still got to shop for an outfit for the show later. We'll see.
Well, speaking of the style here, I have to ask, like, who did your chain?
Who did my chain? Oh, Shop GLD. They're based in Miami. They made this custom blush chain for me. I think it's sick. I love it. They make all my jewelry, as a matter of fact. I get all my jewelry from there. So go to Shop GLD. Shout out to them.
There you go, everyone. I mean, I don't know if we don't have the style of KC Navarro, but if you want to have the style of KC, of the Warrior Wrestling Champion, go to Shop GLD out there in Miami.
Gotcha.
As we start to wind down, this is my last question for you.
Sure.
I'm going to name 3 wrestlers.
Okay.
You're going to tell me if they are truly blessed or not.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Like
Roman Reigns.
Truly blessed. Truly blessed. Oh, yes, he is. I'll give him that.
Kenny Omega.
Truly blessed.
Rob Van Dam.
Oh, he's damn sure truly blessed, bro.
I got to hear one.
I just, anytime I've ever been around Rob Van Dam, he has been such a great time. And he's just a funny guy. And he is just himself. And I love people like that. So that's as much as I can say about Rob Van Dam.
Casey, we appreciate you joining us today. Everyone, check out Warrior Wrestling tonight, June 30th. The event will be streamed live on their YouTube channel. KC Navarro in the main event, defending the World Championship against Matt Cardona.
Oh.
There you go. Look at, oh man, the side play with the true leather. That looks good.
Come on,
right
man.
there. There we go.
I got my logo in the leather. My logo is in the leather. Come on.
That's sexy. I gotta say, that is great.
Come on.
That's a nice title. That's a nice title.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let everyone know where they can find you at.
Find me at KC Russell's on everything soon. That might change. Not gonna lie, it might change soon. But right now, it's at KC Russell's on all social media platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. It's all at KC Russell's. You can buy this shirt, my new Blessed 24/7 shirt, and even hold on, wait. I'm not done. This is a little exclusive for tonight. Okay.
Oh.
I like a man who comes prepared. Let's go.
Yes.
Matt Cardona, he's always ready. That's cool and all. That's great. That's great. But tonight, you can get these exclusive. Ready for this? Always Blessed t-shirts available tonight at Warrior Wrestling and on KC Navarro shop.com. So make sure you go pick one up.
My God, that was the best. That was the
wait. Oh, wait. You think I'm done?
Oh,
you thought I was done? Wait, tonight.
He's not done, Joel Pearl.
He's not done.
Brother. Tonight, we also have brand new 8x10s available, especially me flipping off Matt Cardona. So make sure you go pick these up tonight, live at the meet and greet, and I'll see you all there. So until then, you all can stay blessed.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Casey. Everyone check out Warrior Wrestling 30 tonight. KC Navarro, Matt Cardona, the Warrior Wrestling World Heavyweight, because he's carrying the entire damn company on his back. Champion, truly blessed, KC Navarro. There we go. Thank you, man.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Casey.
Thank you.
Man, that was tremendous.
I don't know why he's with Frank the Clown. I liked him. I like Casey.
He said Frank was good to him. I mean, Frank likes to take some credit here and there, which I don't appreciate because, Truly Bless is getting it done himself. It's not always Frank, but, give the guy a break here, Joel. Frank, clearly there's a benefit there.
I mean, I think the benefit would be him giving up on Frank the Clown, but that's just me.
Again, there seems to be a benefit there with Frank and Casey. So maybe he's just riding that relationship for as long as he needs to, and then the course changes a little bit, Joel.
Maybe. But that t-shirt, that 8x10.
Oh, that t-shirt was nice.
Just good stuff. I loved what he had to say about the pink right at the top of the interview. I thought that was really good stuff. And of course, like just a little bit of a walk through his career and his aspirations. He's man, I can see why people have him on their radar. He's got lots of potential and a lot ahead of him and a lot already behind him. It's pretty amazing.
Only 23. He's, the Warrior Wrestling World Champion. And he's already wrestled a handful of matches on Dark. He's been in as part of the WWE tryout, which I guess the timing wasn't great on the WWE tryout because it was the December one. And then as Fightful Select reported, seemed like there was the bit of the hiring freeze going into the new year with everything. But I'd be shocked if he's not back in, whether it's AEW television, ROH television, WWE television, at some point within the next year. There's just so much potential there. And like I was saying about like the personality and stuff, like he's got that part down so well. And that's a big step when it comes to just being like television ready and everything. Like he's a guy who he steps onto the screen. It's like, oh, I know who this guy is. I get who this guy is and what he's all about.
And he's talking to the right people. He is associating with the right people. He talked about Mia Yim guiding him a little bit with the tattoo, and then it became, the promo, and then it became the hair, and he just got more and more progressively comfortable doing him. And when you have people like that on your side, that goes a long way. He's listen, I'll put him over as much as Sean did in that feature. He's got a lot of upcoming potential, and he's on it now. He's doing it. So good stuff. Really big. Thanks to Warrior Wrestling, by the way. We're looking forward to their show tonight. Warrior Wrestling 30. It's going to be live on YouTube. So go check them out. Good stuff.
We will have the stream up on Fightful.com as well, but go over to the Warrior Wrestling YouTube and check out the show tonight. And also just go to Warrior Wrestling on Twitter and support them and follow them and go to the website and everything. It's Warrior Wrestling without the E and the I. So it's Warrior WRSTLNG on Twitter, and it's warriorwrestling.net. The website. So everyone should again go check them out, go support them. They're doing great work independent scene in Chicago. And and in September I'm gonna try to get Joel down here so I can get Joel beat up.
I'm gonna slap Frank the Clown's face. That's what I'm gonna do. And then I will take Casey to the ring instead.
I don't know if that's gonna work out so well for Casey. I don't know.
Maybe, who knows?
I don't know. The other people on the show, by the way, we'll put over the card. Here we mentioned the main event, Cardona and KC Navarro for the Warrior Wrestling World Championship. We also got Vikingo against Gabriel Fueza against Gringo Loco. That's on there as well. Sky Blue against Heather Reckless. Warhorse against Konosuke Takeshita, Storm Grayson against Jordan Cross, Saban Gage against our pal Cole Radrick, and Bang Bros against Matt Nix and sort of incredible Iverson. So it's a card for tonight. Again, it's on YouTube, the Warrior Wrestling YouTube page. Everyone go check it out.
Looking forward to that show, and looking forward to Money in the Bank. We're gonna get back into our Money in the Bank talk in just a sec. I do also want to put over, I know we talked about Alex Kane having appeared on Between Two Beards over on Love Wrestling to talk about his interactions with Shane Hawk, who was on our show talking about a lot of things, including the American Indies on easy mode interview, as it were. Shane Hawk also appeared on Between Two Beards last night. So we're looking forward to, I think y'all want to go and read those comments or check out those comments from Shane Hawk, just kind of following up. I think he's got a lot of important things to say. So just putting over Between Two Beards, and I think it's worthwhile, Jeremy. It's going to be good stuff from Shane Hawk.
Shane Hawk was fantastic for us. Was that last Monday? It feels like so long ago. Yeah, he was great. He was great with us. So I imagine that'll be very good. And yeah, Alex Kane responded to some comments that he made on our show, and now Shane Hawk's going to be on Between Two Beards to comment on Alex Kane's quotes as well. Sorry, I'm getting a lot of messages in our news chats as I try to get everybody in line with the Money in the Bank coverage. So I apologize that I'm a little trying to get the team in order here, Joel Pearl. But yeah, Shane Hawk. What's that?
Crack that whip.
Yeah, I'm trying. But yeah, Shane Hawk's fantastic. By the way, shout out to Shane Hawk. Shout out to Nicole Matthews. Shout out to Warrior Wrestling. I appreciate that. One, all of them are willing to come on the show. In the case of Warrior Wrestling, they aligned and got us in touch with the talent to come on this show. But like that I write from goes a long way, hopefully for them, but certainly for us as well. And I just appreciate that because, they take their time out to do these interviews, and we very much appreciate that. I take the time out to transcribe these articles and write the articles and everything. And so anytime like a wrestler who is technically an exclusive because it's an exclusive interview interacts with all of this stuff, like I really appreciate that. So anyone who has done that, I try to share it myself and certainly share it on the Fightful account. But I really appreciate that. Darius Carter is another one who has been interacting with like the headlines and stuff. So thank you guys for doing that. And, hopefully it's fruitful for you guys, because transcription work, writing these articles, it's not the prettiest of things. So the fact that you guys are willing to like share that, it means a lot to me. So thank you guys.
And, Sean has said this on multiple platforms, and I will echo it. I think it says a lot to the coverage that we provide at Fightful and the confidence that a lot of wrestlers and really the teams behind a lot of these promotions have in us to send us talent to speak to and to continue having open dialogues with, and that they promote the stuff that they do with us. They can easily just be like, hey, I'm appearing here, okay, bye. But a lot of the talent that you just mentioned, a lot of the wrestlers will continue promoting the articles. They will continue talking about the appearances, and that goes a long way. So I gotta say it's really incredible that wrestling has gotten to the point, and wrestlers as well, they got to the point where like it's not just dirty wrestling media, it's places like Fightful have a very competent place in the conversation. And so that's a really big deal. So I want to repeat that. I want to put that over, because when all the names that you mentioned start interacting with and sharing it, and also expressing their excitement for the interaction that they get and the engagement that they get from the interviews they do with us, that's twofold. That goes both ways. It really helps, and it really gets more names on more cards, and that's good stuff. I like it.
We are still the dirt sheets. No one should ever talk to us. If you are seen interacting with us, your bosses will become very, very angry with you for talking to the sheets and giving you the scoops and the exclusives out there. Yes, SB3 says Darius Carter's a gem. He just got to run or tag the guy who booked him. I felt bad. He tagged Sean, who had nothing to do with anything. Sean wasn't even on the show.
Not at all.
Sean didn't do anything on that. And he tagged Sean. Like, I understand he tags you. You were on part of the show. He tagged me. I wrote the article and everything. Didn't tag SB3, who booked him. What are we doing, Darius?
Excuse me. I will say this. Sean put over the interview and put over everything that we talked about and that I just echoed. So that's more or less why. But listen, yes, SB3 100% deserves the credit for having gotten the book with Darius Carter, and also did a great job in the interview as well, because he was there with me tag teaming that interview with Darius, and he was very well prepared, obviously, and Darius was very generous with his time. So there's a lot of good stuff. Anyway, let's stop patting ourselves on the back. I know we're really good at that, but let's talk more about Money in the Bank. We got through that Bloodline Civil War stuff. Is there anything that you just want to add before we move on from that?
Bloodline Civil War. Okay, where are you at on the finish now? I do want to know that.
That's a good question. And actually, I'm glad that you brought that up because that was something I was thinking about too. And I wanted to ask before KC came on the show. I have this feeling that at SummerSlam, we might see a triple threat for the title. And that would be Jimmy and Jay versus Roman. And going back to the Solo Sikoa conversation and him getting a spotlight of his own Thursdays on Fightful, the idea here that now Solo is having a crisis of his own. And now we're going to have to tell the story of Solo Sikoa, which, again, it elongates the story and it adds another layer to it as well. So that's not a bad thing at all. That being said, the finish tonight could, oh, man, I don't want Roman to lose 2 tags in a row. And I don't want...
He's not getting pinned, though.
That's the thing, but he still is on the lost ledger of that. I could see him cheating to win, beating Jimmy, and pinning Jimmy, and then somehow the Usos go Roman into a triple threat. Or Roman himself is just like, oh, you thought you're so big, you thought you're so great. Well, how about it's going to be you two versus me at SummerSlam, but it's a triple threat. Anything goes. So, brother, you could win the title. Brother, you could win the title. Who's the better brother? Because again, going back to the whole, first of all, Roman Reigns is a gaslighter. And the other thing is this whole Usos got back together was because Jay said those things about Jimmy in that promo. Like, you were the captain of the football team. You were the valedictorian. You were the guy with the, you had everything and I didn't. And Roman can work with that. And Roman can work on that and cause some not some dissension, but at least like some miscommunication with the Usos. Get them off their game going into a triple threat for the title. And that way you're not rehashing matches from 2 years. They're 2 years ago, but it's still, similar stories from 2 years ago. Do a triple threat. And then Solo is just like, oh shit, it's my brothers. It's my guy, my tribal chief. I don't know what to do. I don't know where I stand. There's enough there that there's enough meat on that bone. So that's kind of where I'm at. And that's why I'm kind of like Roman gets the win tonight. And then they set up SummerSlam somehow with that kind of with Roman manipulating his way into that triple threat match.
I think Roman manipulates the triple threat match and they need to lose at Money in the Bank. Like if Roman just wins and pins them, it'd probably just be kind of dismissive of them, of like, beat you guys, they're the tag team guys, and Ian Solo just like, whatever, stacked them, smashed them, pinned them. Like that's the end of that. So I think what happens is I think the Usos win. I think I pitched like Roman actually loss in this match. And I'm still not completely dismissing that Roman actually takes a loss in this match. If he's going to lose, it's the family storyline. It seems like at some point, one of them's going to beat him. It may as well do it in a tag team match so he doesn't have to lose the title. Regardless, I think the Usos win. And I think the Usos win, and that sets up the triple threat match for kind of how you just pitched it, of like, oh, Jay gets the victory, Jimmy gets the victory. It's like, okay, well, you get the title shot now. But wait a second, don't you want this title shot? And he starts like pitting them against each other kind of thing. And then he pins them both at SummerSlam.
Smash and stack?
That's right. It's coming back.
I don't hate that. And that's the thing. Like I do agree that Roman winning the match and then setting up his own title match, it does feel weird. At the same time, if you have Solo eating another pin in a tag match like they did, in Saudi, that's to me what kind of feels boring. And that's why I would love for them to change it up. But I also don't want to see Roman get pinned in a tag match like this, because the first guy to pin Roman 1, 2, 3, that's got to be a big deal, a huge deal. Title or not, it's going to be he's down, unless like they do something absolutely bonkers to get there. Like they hit him with the sledgehammer in between the eyes at full force. That's like the only way where I'm just like, oh yeah, no, that would kill him. Other than that, there is no other way that beating Roman makes sense.
It's gonna be a big deal though when you beat him. What if they both pin him? What if they throw everything at him, double super kick times 5, the Uso splash, which I don't think looked very good on SmackDown
Oh no, it
either.
looked real bad. Jay was like landed on his feet.
Yeah, like an Uso splash, maybe even like a chair has to get involved because I'm sure there's going to be some type of ref bump. Heyman screws something up. Solo misses a spike on Jay and hits Roman. Like he just eats all of the finishers and they both pin Roman. And then that's an easy way to set up a triple threat match too of like, well, they both got the pinfall on him.
You see the bottom corner of our screen? The name of the channel? That's how I feel when you go over that. Yeah.
It's going to be overbooked, though. Roman just ain't going to take, like, a clean L, at least not even when he loses the title. Like, he just ain't going to take a clean L on this stuff.
You see, that's where we differ. I think that when he does lose the title in that one-on-one contest, that to me feels like it will be not necessarily overbooked, but there will be an attempt at it, and it will be thwarted at every turn. So instead of getting involved, someone will stop it. Basically, someone will be like, "I know your tricks by now," and that that ends the idea that Roman's going to cheat to win. But yeah, with tonight, you do a million things, but I still don't want to see Roman get pinned in this match. But at the same time, I see why it would be more interesting because we've seen Solo get pinned a bunch and we've seen the Usos win matches too. Like I'm hoping for something different, and that's why I'm not married to this being the main event either. You put it in the middle of the card so that people aren't going to be like, "Ugh, Solo ate another pin and now the Usos won." Like, is it big enough to go off the air with that?
I think it is, especially if Roman does his acting of okay, like I'm very devastated by all of this. What? Okay, here's something I haven't seen mentioned. Maybe it has been, but is there another family member they can bring in? Do they have someone else that they could bring in to this?
Well, the one that everyone liked is suddenly under fire for something completely off the record. So, it's not off the record. It's on the record. So there's that. There's Lance Anoa'i. I don't know if that's really someone you want to go to. Not that people would know Jacob Fatu outside of the hardcore wrestling fans.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If you're going to introduce somebody big, they gotta look like they are big enough to debut. Solo was in that 50-50 zone where he was big enough and badass enough that people were interested and invested if they didn't know the NXT stuff, but the NXT fans also knew who he was, so they knew of the importance of his debut. Honestly, like Fatu would have been the only big guy that would have worked and people would have been like, who is this big SOB? I don't know if there's somebody else out there that would come back and make sense. Like Sean Maluda is loosely related to the family as well. I don't think you're going to bring him back. You bring back Nia Jax is someone that you can bring back. I don't think that's going to be it. And the only time that the men interact physically with the women is when Randy Orton's involved. So that's not a thing that's going to happen either. I don't know who else could come out. I don't know who would make sense, who's big enough to make sense.
Where's Dwayne at? Is he overseas right now?
Who knows? I was about to open the window and be like, where is Dwayne Johnson today?
Yeah, what's his Instagram say? Is that geolocation on?
I mean, he can just pull a Ronda Rousey and say he's in one place, but actually be in the site of the Royal Rumble 2018.
He hasn't Instagrammed in 2 days.
Someone's got to check on The Rock. Just somebody go and check on The Rock. Find out if he's okay.
He's been tweeting. He hasn't tweeted in a couple of days either. His last tweet was from Earth, I assume, because that's where everybody tweets from nowadays, just from Earth.
Got to change that.
So, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if there's another family member. Jacob Fatu is the obvious one, but not great publicity on him right now. And I don't even know if that was even a feasible thing. He's got MLW dates already announced, and I don't know if they're bringing him in and then let them finish out in an MLW date if that would be a thing or not. And that's a live MLW show as well. That's not one of those, hey, let's tape it today and then air it 5 months from now. I just didn't know if there was somebody else out there, and if there was, that they could possibly bring them in this spot. So I think the Usos. I think the Usos win. You're right about, like, is the Usos just beating Solo a good enough thing to go off the air with? And I'm not totally sure that it is, unless Roman really sells it and makes it feel bigger than it is. I think Roman getting pinned is a big enough thing to go off the air with. What if Roman gets pinned and then we get a cash-in tease as well?
I'm not a big fan of that one.
I'm not either.
But I'm looking at the NOI family heritage to see if there's anyone that jumps out. Ava's going to come out and save the bloodline, just like she saved the Gacy's. That's fun.
What if Logan Paul wins the briefcase?
Okay, so I do want to bring that up. Let's talk about that real quick. So I will direct everyone to go to the spotlight from yesterday on the main channel. Watch that, because I think Jeremy had really, really solid points while I was listening to you guys about how who really cares about Logan Paul holding the briefcase and putting it on Impulsive and going out onto the red carpets and showing up at his brother's fight camps or whatever. You're right. And you know what? The Bad Bunny illusion that you made, or the comparison that you made, where he had the 24/7 title, I get that it's not Money in the Bank, but like, it's still a WWE branded thing. And what did it do? People were more excited for the idea that Bad Bunny was going to be on WWE programming than they were about Bad Bunny holding a title or doing, they didn't care about WWE. They cared about Bad Bunny wherever he went. Logan Paul fans are going to care about Logan Paul. They're not going to care about they're not going to care about wrestling. They're going to care about Logan Paul appearing at this wrestling event. Logan Paul could show up in the NWA and Logan Paul's fans will watch for Logan Paul matches, and then they turn it right off when they see Tyrus. But the point is, they would still flock there because they are fans of the person, not of the brand. And I don't think giving him, and I agree with you, not giving him the briefcase just to show up. No guest is going to be like, imagine, I don't know. For some reason, I have Robert Downey Jr. in my head. I don't know why.
Is it a talk show now?
No. Appearing on Impulsive. Just imagine random big celebrity guest being like, "Oh, what's that briefcase over there?" Like, no one's gonna give a shit. No one asked Mark Maron about his guitars unless they're artists or unless they're musicians, and even then, Mark is like telling them about it. I understand where people are coming from with the Logan Paul idea. You and I talked about it. I brought it up as an idea, and then the more I thought about it, and then I heard you echo those sentiments that I had in my head about Logan Paul with the briefcase. I was like, you're right. He doesn't need it. The only thing that's good about a Logan Paul carry of the Money in the Bank briefcase is that he's suddenly not there, and therefore it's out of sight, out of mind. There's a huge moment that could be had when Logan Paul suddenly shows up out of nowhere and cashes in because, oh my God, we forgot about Logan Paul. Which is what we're doing with Brock Lesnar too. I understand people have said, everyone's talking about Brock Lesnar coming and costing Cody the match. Not everybody. If you've been thinking about it, you're going to see it. But if you're not thinking about it, the Brock Lesnar return potentially tomorrow night at Money in the Bank is a big enough deal that people are going to be like, oh, I forgot about him. Same thing with Logan Paul. That's where I'm at.
My point on the show yesterday, for those who may have not seen it and we're not crossover audience people here, was people are trying to, I don't know if justify, but theorize that, oh, Logan Paul is going to win. And they could, I by the way, I think like their theory on this is probably correct. Logan Paul is going to win because you have the briefcase. It's on Impulsive. It's at the fights. It's all these media appearances and everything. And it brings brand awareness for WWE, because Logan Paul, millions of followers on social media, his the interviews Impulsive does well, all this stuff does really well, right? So it's brand awareness, like, oh, all these fans now are going to know what WWE is and everything because they see this briefcase. And my point is, like, does that translate to anything? And it's a genuine question that I'm asking. Like, I don't truthfully know if it translates or not. My kind of thoughts on it are that it doesn't so much, at least not as much as I think people think it does. Yeah, and I brought up of like, oh, WWE sends this championship to all of the winning teams and stuff. Patrick Mahomes has got the WWE title. Aaron Gordon has got the WWE title at the championship parades and everything. It's like, okay, are the people like watching this? Are the people seeing this on social media? Are they like, oh man, now I'm gonna watch WWE because I see this title and I see Patrick Mahomes with this title. I can't wait to tune in to WWE because of this. Like, I don't think it brings any. If Patrick Mahomes shows up on WWE programming, then sure, people are gonna tune in to that. But just like having the brand out there, it's good, mind you. I'm not saying like, hey, don't do this. By the way, like they should keep doing these WWE title things, and they should keep that. Like this is how companies thrive. It's just, hey, brand awareness. If you're always thinking about the brand, you are probably more likely to tune in to this stuff, or if at least check it out. So I understand why it's done. I understand why they would want to do something with this, like Logan Paul. My point was just, wouldn't it make more sense, or doesn't it translate better if you just do a good story? Like if you just do of if LA Knight wins, whoever wins, and you just do a good story with it. And one of the points I brought up was the Bloodline's the biggest draw in WWE. I don't think that's disputed at all right now, right? Like that's evidenced by the ratings, by just basically all metrics. Cody is a huge draw for WWE. Again, metrics would indicate all of that. Cody's not out there on talk shows with the WWE title around his shoulder. Roman Reigns isn't out there on talk shows with the WWE title around his shoulder and everything. They're draws because they're just doing good work on television. They're draws because they're connecting with a sector of the audience that continue to watch the program because of them. Not because like they're just throwing the brand in your face the entire time. And I think that's more important than like, hey, let's do this and just have brand awareness out there. And if you want to bring the brand awareness, go book LA Knight on a talk show. Go book them for podcast appearances and everything, because then you will continue to have brand awareness and just do a good story. And for the record, if Logan Paul is the best story that they have, cool. If they can book a good story out of the Logan Paul thing, which I think they can, because he's only going to show up a handful of times, and every time he shows up, it's going to seem like a big deal of, oh, will he cash in type of thing, then okay, I'm fine with that. You can justify it in that way. I don't think it's quite as justifiable if you're just like, let's put the title on him because he's going to show that briefcase off to all of his social media followers and everything. I don't think that's a good reason to put the title on him. I think the story matters more than just let's put the brand out there to put the brand out there.
First question they're going to ask him, hey, Logan Paul, what's in the briefcase? It's a bunch of bottles of Prime. And we're just going to be like, oh my God. Unless fans are just going to be like, Christ almighty. So with that in mind, if it's not Logan Paul, who is your pick for the Money in the Bank this year?
I've said it before. Like, I think it should be LA Knight. I think when you have a guy who is this over organically, and when you've basically tried to not capture this momentum because you gave him the Bray Wyatt feud, which he did the best he could with. The match was what it was. You didn't book him on WrestleMania, despite it being in LA and the easy tie-in there, and despite him getting like good reactions and stuff. I think that you've got to capitalize on this stuff. And for so often, they don't capitalize on this stuff. And so I think they'd miss the mark if they didn't do it here. So LA Knight is my I guess my heart pick. I just assume Logan Paul's winning this thing.
See, I agree with the LA Knight. Heart pick, my pick is Damian Priest.
I get
clearly,
that.
Again, I mentioned it here. They keep feeding him L's, but he keeps coming out and he keeps looking good. And on top of that, the story with Finn Balor and Seth is, to me, only the beginning. And you've got Damian Priest in there. If Drew comes back and they do a Drew McIntyre Seth thing, you can still tell the story of the Judgment Day and Drew is just like, again, I'm totally fantasy booking. Drew is like kind of attached, but he's not in the Judgment Day. He's just kind of like, you guys are bad, I'm bad, I want to beat his ass, you want to beat his ass. Yeah, you got that Money in the Bank briefcase, but what if, I'll just give you the first title shot, whatever it is. Like, there are a lot of ways you can do it, but even if Drew's not there, the story has become Seth versus the Judgment Day, which I don't hate. So that's kind of where my brain is at, is Damian Priest holding that briefcase. Let's shift focus to the women real quick, because this one is even harder to tell. You've got Zelina Vega, Becky Lynch, Zoe Stark, Bayley, Io Sky, and Trish Stratus. A lot of people didn't expect Trish Stratus to be in a ladder match in 2023, but here we are. Jeremy Lambert, who's going to win the women's Money in the Bank?
I think Trish or Zoe makes the most sense. I think we talked about it on this show, that this, because there's no women's match, like the immediate cash in almost feels off the table. Unless they're going to cash in on a fresh competitor. And when does that ever happen? So it seems like this is going to be a year where we're finally going to get a prolonged cash in on the women's side. And I think having it as a heel makes the most sense there. The problem is you have 2 heel champions already. And so now I'm going to reverse course and steer away from Money in the Bank for a second and steer towards tonight. Hashtag bow down. Queen. Three certain things in life: death, taxes. Charlotte beats Asuka.
Oh, sorry, I got it wrong.
Charlotte beats Asuka. Is that where we're going tonight?
That's a good question. It could end up in a triple threat by SummerSlam that Bianca Belair gets into. I can see Zoe Stark winning the briefcase. I can see a story with Trish and Becky and Zoe being in the middle of it. I can see Io and Bayley having a story as well. Zelina's the odd woman out. And if the rumors and the innuendo, Bruce Pritchard, are true, Zelina Vega, with that briefcase, being the only white meat babyface in this match. I'm talking like nobody else in this match screams babyface. Becky does, but she's also, she does her things, but Zelina is like pure. And that would be a shock. And on top of it, if Charlotte's the champion and you cash in on Charlotte, that just sets the precedent that Charlotte is the one who keeps getting cashed in on. That's fine. But you hold it for a little while longer with Zelina. And it would be a shock. And it might elevate her and hopefully the LWO a little bit. Because notice how in the men's Money in the Bank match, we didn't say a damn thing about Santos Escobar, who, by the way, is like the dude. I want so much for him, but they got to break him away from Rey Mysterio. They got to break him away from just being totally like reverent of Mysterio's presence. And I think Zelina Vega might be step number 1. And I don't see cashing in on Rhea Ripley as right now, at least, who is the world women's champion. I don't see that as like the thing to do with Rhea, whereas I can see that with Charlotte, because I've seen it with Charlotte. I can see it with Bianca. I can see it with Asuka, someone cashing in on them. I don't see it on Rhea right now because they haven't booked her in a way where it feels like it would be relevant to the Rhea Ripley story, if that makes sense to you.
I think you can put the briefcase on Becky, and Becky does the call the shot thing for like SummerSlam with Rhea. Is like, all right, because there's some interaction there between them and everything. And just Becky's like, SummerSlam, here we go. I'm just going to call this and let's do this at SummerSlam. It's going to be hilarious. I think for banter purposes, for joke purposes, Charlotte wins tonight, wins the title, gets the title. Becky wins the briefcase, and Becky cashes in first opportunity on Charlotte and beats her for that title.
I don't hate it. I could see Becky getting a triple, not a triple, but maybe like a fatal 4-way victory on Raw to set up the match versus Rhea. So you could do Becky, Trish, Zoe, maybe Io Sky. But Io's on, is Io SmackDown? I don't know anymore. But either way, like some combination of 4 to like 3 or 4 women that set up that main event. That's where my brain is for the women's World Championship. Rhea and Becky seems to be the way to go, but I wouldn't do it as a called out cash in. I'd rather they get it through like battling their way to get to Rhea, because Rhea is like, for some reason, continues to be this force that nobody is wrestling because nobody wants to face her, or there's no competition, whatever it is. Like she's not wrestling, but for some reason she is like the most dominant wrestler out there. It's very strange to me.
Brandy's going to come in after tonight and beat Rhea Ripley.
Well, like I was about to say, Cody Rhodes and Dominic Mysterio. Is it going to be Who Told You It Was Open Mic Night?
Nah, I don't think we're going to see Brandy. I love Brandy, but I don't think we're going to see her. Look, the Brock thing is out there. I think everybody kind of suspects that Brock is going to show up here, and that's sort of what I suspect as well. Brock shows up. Does he show up during the match and cost Cody? Does he show up after the match and just beat the hell out of Cody? We will find out. I think it'll probably be during, and then Brock and then Dominic wins, and Dominic can hold that over Cody for however long, and then you can circle back to that match at some point, and then Cody can get his win back.
Yep, I want that so bad too. I just for the discourse, I want to see Brock just take out Cody, put Dominic on top of him, and 1, 2, 3, that's it. That'd be fine with me. Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, we both agree here. Seth Rollins going to retain.
I think so. I've seen this scenario, and I think we've talked about it on the show, of Finn wins, Priest cash in on Finn type of deal. I'm not like fully mad at that, but I don't see that happening. I feel like Seth is going to get I don't know how long of a run, but he's going to get it past this event just to continue to solidify this championship and everything.
Yeah, I can see SummerSlam being the end of it. And him getting cashed in on SummerSlam. We'll see where that goes. But yeah, I can see Seth winning tonight makes the most sense to me. Balor putting up a good fight, being seen as a guy who can still go very much so. Hopefully doesn't crack his skull open on a table in a Hell in a Cell match, but we'll see. We'll see. There's no Hell in a Cell this month, so we're okay. Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Was that added to Money in the Bank?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was on SmackDown for some reason. But anyway, tag team match for the women's tag titles. Liv comes back. Does Liv win the tag titles back?
No, probably not.
No, I don't think so either. And then Gunther versus Matt Riddle for the Intercontinental Championship. I think what's happening around this match is more important than what's going on in this match. Gunther getting the victory here makes the most sense. Unless there's a Viper lurking around. There have again been rumors, as there are every single month. Who knows? What do you got, Riddle and Gunther?
I hope Gunther just wins and we move on.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. Just Riddle has done nothing to make me feel like he is a credible challenger. So we did this match to fill the card, and we're just going to get through it. We got through today. We did it.
Well, real quickly, Joel.
Sure.
Drew McIntyre. Yeah, yes or no? I know we've played out scenarios and everything of how it could happen, the why is very obvious, but how. But like completely like on the record prediction for Drew McIntyre, yes or no?
So again, I have to hedge because I have to say yes if
no hedging.
Yes,
no.
If Seth and Finn are the main event, then yes, Drew. If they are not the main event, my like 90% becomes closer to 50. But I do think we see Drew.
Okay. All right. I think he's there as well. I don't know in what capacity, but I think we get a Drew McIntyre appearance at this show.
And then we'll have Alex McCarthy tell us all the lurid details about why and how and when.
I think we might actually be looking too big when it comes to Drew and talking about Money in the Bank and world title. What if Drew shows up and steps to Gunther?
That would be a good pickup from WrestleMania, which is the last time we saw Drew McIntyre. That would work for me. But also, I don't know if I want to see that. Because again, that's Drew. I'm like, I'll bring it in the chat. Like Gunther going to September 6th to beat the Honky Tonk Man's record. I want to see that. I think many people want to see that. I don't want to see Drew come back and then be another loss for Drew. So then be another victory for Gunther, and then he'll move up or move on. To me, that doesn't work. I don't know who steps to Gunther next. It could be Randy Orton if that's another conversation worth having. But yeah, I don't see him stepping to Gunther right away.
Okay,
that's where I'm at.
What if he takes out Cody Rhodes?
See, I don't hate that. And then you got to have Dolph Ziggler come out and then rehash their tag team from 5 years ago.
He rips off Cody's tattoo, just rips it clean off. I guess you'd be like ripping off the man's skin.
It would be like the Boogeyman ripping off Jillian Hall's mole once upon a time and then eating it.
He rips off the American Nightmare tattoo, which is all about America. He's like, "You're in the UK now, bitch." You got to throw the bitch in there. And then he stomps on the flesh tattoo of Cody Rhodes.
This seems very painful and very bloody. I'm into it. Let's do it. And then ITV is like, we're ditching AEW. We want your programming on our station. We'll pay you X amount of money. This is a big deal actually for them this week. We talked about it with Alex earlier this week. The TV rights will definitely be a big business conversation coming out of Money in the Bank and SmackDown this week in the UK. Sean Ross Sapp is there. We talked about it. There will be plenty of notes on Fightful Select, so go subscribe. We have some interviews coming that I have to actually cut when we go off the air, so we'll do that. First one I think will be LA Knight, because his interview notes are already up on FightfulSelect.com. Best $5 in the business. That's all I'm going to do to shill that. Jeremy Lambert, let's get out of here. Take us home, please.
Fightful Overbooked.com. Here's the important thing, everybody. On Monday, we will be doing our live show from 10 to 12 Eastern. As usual, as everybody has come to expect on the show. I don't know who our guest is just yet, but from 10 to 12 Eastern, we will be doing our live show at 5 p.m. Eastern on FightfulOverbooked.com. July 3rd, everybody. July 3rd, FightfulOverbooked.com. Jeremy Lambert, Matt Brannigan, the Great American Oreo Eating Contest at 5 p.m. Eastern on July 3rd. Special guest MC, Megabyte Ronnie, who will be competing in the hot dog eating contest on July 4th, the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. So this is happening. That look on my face is about how scared I am to do this Oreo eating contest. I regret every decision that I've made in the lead up to this contest. But we're going to be here. We're 5 p.m. Eastern, July 3rd, right here, Fightful Overbooked. I'm going to plug it again on Monday's show, but it's happening. Myself, Matt Brannigan, 3 minutes on the clock. We will eat as many Oreos as we can.
I'm so excited for this. One of y'all are gonna throw up on stream, and I'm all about it.
I'm gonna have milk. I'm gonna be dumping my Oreos in milk. I've been preparing for this for many years, Joel. Many years.
Eating Oreos for many years.
I have been eating Oreos for many years. That is my late night snack every single night. The wife will attest to this. Every night before we go to bed, I just have my Oreos and milk. That's my comfort food. And now I'm going to turn that comfort food into competition fuel. And I'm going to destroy Matt Brannigan in this contest. I'm going to double stuff his ass in this contest.
No, please continue, because if there's one thing that the guy with the OnlyFans needs to hear, it's that you are going to double stuff his ass.
I'm going to destroy him. Megabyte Ronnie is going to be there, and he's going to witness the Great American Oreo Eater. And I'm going to provide motivation for our pal, Megabyte Ronnie, one day before the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. I'm going to take Brannigan down. I've been training very hard for this Oreo eating contest. Not only have I been eating Oreos for pretty much my entire life as my bedtime snack, I've been drinking milk. I drink milk every single day. Kurt Angle is jealous of how much milk that I drink. I've learned, I've been twisting the Oreos off, get a good twist on that Oreo, eating the cookie side to get that texture down, eating the frosted cookie side as well to get. I'm prepared. I know this is where I got the advantage on Brannigan. I know how long to dip these things in the milk to get that perfect. Oh, still a little bit of hardness on there, but also soft enough to where it goes down easy. I know the dunking technique on all of this. I am fully prepared for this. And 3 minutes on the clock, I'm going to destroy Brannigan in 3 minutes. We are eating, by the way, just regular Oreos. There's nobody has an advantage. I eat mint Oreos most of my nights, much to the dismay of Ella J. I eat mint Oreos for most of the time, but we're eating regular Oreos. This is going to be cakewalk for me. I'm used to eating the double stuff. I'm used to eating the mint. You just throw regular Oreos at me? Easy. Light work. Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern. Fightful overbooked. Come watch me eat Matt Brannigan. Wait.
What?
I don't know. Pause.
All right. No. Nah. We have to get through the rest of these plugs. FightfulOverbook.com, like Jeremy said, you can check out Coexisting with Rob and Maggie. They're going to be on at 3 p.m. Eastern on Friday, as they are every single week. Tag Talk they are either on hiatus or they're pre-recording to put stuff up. So just they typically do Mondays. So we'll see where they go, but they are at least on hiatus for now. So go watch old episodes of them because they're great. The great Haley and Kylie. What else we got? FMC on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We're in the weeds at 10 a.m. Eastern here on Fightful Overbooked. And then on Thursdays, we've got Indeed with Righteous Reg and Mike. So check them out. Sundays, Kate and I are live at 8. No different this week because Money in the Bank is on a Saturday at 3 p.m. So that's going to be good for me. I'm happy about that. My note is I will be on Wrestling Observer Live this Sunday with Andrew Zarian. So check that out. And until then, I think that's all. Yeah, we got it. We did it.
Sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. We'll see you in the next one. Oh, and happy Canada Day tomorrow. Cheers.
No.